Ladies and gentlemen, today I will be continuing the Innovation with Stellar AI series, and today what we'll do is create a basic skeletal structure of our project. So in the previous episode, you can say, I established a task calendar with the AI, and let's just follow along with it and create a skeletal structure. So let's begin. So first of all, let's go to the site, to the calendar, and let's look at our task over here. So of course we just need to create an app.py and requirements.txt. Over here we have innovation with Stellar AI portfolio site project. So I'll just create an app.py project over here, call it app.py, and then we'll also just create an environment or like requirements.txt. And as you can see right now I'm recording, it's 8th of July and I've completed it exactly on the deadline, you can say. But okay, then what we have over here is to create a core structure with minimal content. But before we do that, I will just tell the AI system that I've already completed one idea. So here we're on the development phase of the project. I'll just say I've already created the app.py and requirements.txt. So I'm gonna move on to the next task. And again, I cannot make this a very like loose website, loose project. That's not really pretty because this is going to be actually my work portfolio site. It's going to need to be good actually. Now over here you can see some kind of bug. It's literally replicating the same thing over and over again. I don't know. Sometimes HTML does that even with like professional websites that are not mine, like that are more developed, like they have a full organization behind them, and like I don't know, these HTML errors still occur. Okay, so here we've moved on to the next one, just to show you over here. It's core HTML structure and minimal content. So we're going to develop basic HTML pages. Now I know how to do this, so I'm just going to do it on my own. But if I have any questions, if I forget anything, which would be quite surprising considering that I've been using Flask for 40 years now, even though I'm not 40. 1 second. From Flask import Flask. There we go. Oh God, I actually don't remember how to initialize it. See, this is beautiful. Boom, I can open up. Actually, I don't really even need to open up a whole new one over here. I can just go over here. I've actually forgotten how to initialize a basic Flask app. Of course, this is like very basic. You could go look it up on a documentation, but why not? You know, why not display how Stellar AI works and everything like that? So yeah, look at us. We're very primitive. Don't have the demarcation of actual like code, but that's fine. Okay, so from Flask import Flask. Okay, yeah. I don't know why I forgot that. Even though I've been using it to create Stellar AI. I've been using it to do everything. Like it's an amazing one. Yeah, so def home return. Here we'll just use render template. So that is a like feature that you can use to return a template instead of just like a blank white screen with just hello Flask on it as it's displayed over here. So home.html. And that's kind of the point of Stellar AI, is that it can know the project. Of course, that's not the only point. The point is to help you develop a project from start to finish. But you know, if you have these stupid little blips, you can just ask it on a side and then just go back to the main thing, which is over here, which is the long string of like actually going along the process, right? So let's see over here. We'll need to develop basic HTML templates and everything like that. So let's just begin with that. Let's go with app.root slash, I don't know, about me. Just go with about, and then we have that. Return render template about .html. And you might be saying like, this is very simple stuff. Why are we like spending our time on doing this? But it's just to show you that the kind of process. So right now we're just doing very simple things, but you'll see how some key concepts of like building applications will come to life as I develop. And that's, you cannot focus on stylization first. You need to go along a timeline to build it. You need to focus on the functionality first, like these concepts about like building applications. That is important to know. So as the basic skeleton, we're going to just get a templates thing. Templates. And then another static folder to build this. Okay, we have templates over here. And so right now, I literally got the urge to start building something, or not writing something in the about section, like stating my goals and all this. While that's amazing, it should not be the main focus. Right now, I'm just supposed to create just like very basic skeleton so that I can immediately get to building the functionality first, right? So that's the immediate necessitation requirement, is that I build the functionality first. So as you can see also in Stellar AI, I first worked on developing Stellar AI so that it can, you can use it to progress in a process, step-by-step process, where right now you can see we're on the step of development, where we were previously on planning. But here, this little stylization thing, this little icon changing over here, is simply just a stylization feature that I can add later. So that's also very crucial to know. But anyway, so okay, I've completed the basic HTML pages of home, contact, and the about page. What's the next task again? Okay, so now that we've completed the HTML pages for home, contact, and everything, we can move on to putting some like a projects page. So we've not done that yet. Slash projects and then dev project. So far, very basic stuff, but really the functionality is of course going to be creating the projects where you can like put on a project and like display it. And even though the functionality is not actually that complicated, it's going to be the main aim of the project, of course, with the stylization as well. Also, another important facet of developing projects is debugging, as you probably would know. So 1 second, I will just go over here. Okay, we have the home page. Of course, it has nothing there, it just has home on it. And then like we can check about, contact, document, sure. And then projects should also be there. So yeah, everything is there. That's amazing. Now, let's look at this. So this is the point where, you're not just you over relying on AI to do everything for you. I have the artistic choice of how I want this to be done. So it's saying adding placeholders, that's what we've agreed upon as a task. But how I want them to be done is actually up to me, of course. And so I'll just add a div over here. And what we'll do is have thumbnails of the kind of projects that we want. We're not going to add the images right now. Again, that could be regarded as stylization. But we're going to add like, an IMG frame over here with an ID of something, project one. And then we're going to go over here in the script. I'm interested actually if we would need a database for this, but probably not actually, like a database of projects. Probably not worth doing, just worth having everything straight away there, because it's not going to be that many projects that we need a whole database for it. So yeah, we can just have direct IDs. Let's add something simple over here. So I have some images. One thing I don't remember is how to actually set CSS files for static, like for Flask. You have this static page is supposed to hold CSS files, and I don't remember how to link it up. I think it was like, whatever, I'm just going to ask. Create a static folder, create a CSS folder. Yeah, that's also a good practice. We'll just put CSS, and then in another one we'll have the graphics or the images, or for the projects, thumbnails and things like that, which you can press on. They will take you to a different page, and then that's the project that you're looking at. Yeah, okay, so URL for static style, something like that, yeah. We're not going to start any stylization, that's very important. What I'm actually trying to do is go over here and go into like this, create a separate graphics folder, and then I'll just put some image in here. I'll just put this beautiful image of the most iconic, most world-changing company in the world. Yeah, in the world. And set it so. And again, pay attention. It knows that I'm building a portfolio site, even though I created a new chat. Very nice, right? But anyway, we're just going to copy that over multiple times. Specifically, in the script, in the JavaScript script, I'm going to take an ID of all of these projects, and then, or actually, what's better to do is probably to just check right now how it works, because this link is of course not going to work right now, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so we have these three big, huge, massive thumbnails. Of course, that's not what I intended. They're so beautiful though. I mean, I don't know who the artist is, but it's so amazing. I mean, I really want to keep it, but okay, foregoing stylization here is actually not possible, due solely to the fact that we need to fit them in frame so that they're like that, like, you know, like three standing side by each other. So I'm just going to make them smaller. Actually, you know what? This is a perfect moment. Also, how do I resize an image such that its aspect ratio is preserved, and also the image is smaller? Okay, yes, I'm a little bit goofy. I just asked, and it's saying that you can just have something like this, I believe. Should adjust on some. Yeah, there we go. I'm a little bit goofy. Okay, so we have achieved the desired result over here. As you can see, it's a little bit of a different size when I do this, but you know, it's fine. Big heading over here saying my projects or things like that. My life's work. Definitely not my life's work, but sure. And this one, let's say, is going to be a link to, I can actually start doing this right here. A link to a project. So projects, and then we have a dynamic part over here. Project number, let's say, right? And then over here, def individual project. And then we can implement some very basic code over here saying that if project number equals 1, then return render template for project1.html, and so on for all the rest. As such, we will create these project templates. And how many projects do I have to display? Probably 5? Probably 4. I don't want all 5. But yeah, so I have project 1, project 2.html, project 3. I actually made a video course, by the way, fun fact if you didn't know. I made a video course on how AI works. It was a long time back. I actually showed it and promoted it on this channel, but I noticed that it had many errors and then stopped promoting it and just removed it off the internet. But yeah. Anyway, so we have this project over here, this dynamic loading of a project. In the projects page, we can implement some very basic code to parse, to redirect to the right one. So project one document dot query selector hashtag project one, right? And then let's do that for each one. There. 2, 3, and 2 and 3. Project 1 is going to be redirecting to project 1 link, right? So project/project 1, or just 1, right? Project/1, because that's going to be a number in there. And window.location, okay, and then just the same thing for each and every one. There. Project 2, project 3, and this very simply creates a skeletal structure for the website as such. So we go over here and let's debug our code and see if everything works right. Oh, and also Flask has this very nice feature that whenever you make a change into it, you have to reload the entire app. I think that's in each and every like part of code, but I don't know, each and every framework, but yeah. All right, projects, probably number like that. Yeah, project number. So here we have our project. We boot up our system to debug our code, which is very important. And so yeah, my life's work, amazing. It's supposed to be stylized bad initially because that's just how life works. Maybe we'll add a heading bar, which is also helpful for navigation, while not stylizing it either. So we go over here, projects 1. Okay, we have a problem. The view function for individual project did not return a valid response. I think that's the problem is that you have to have like a exit out statement. So we can just do else return, sorry, what? Because, you know, there's not going to be more than three or 4 projects. So we go back, let's click over here, boom. Oh wait, sorry what? It's saying sorry what? What are you talking about? There's no such project. And this is very important to debug, probably because the project number is an integer, is a string. So we can go over here and integerize it, and it's probably going to work. And sure enough, it works. We have just a completely empty page, which is absolutely fine. So the first project was the social media website, so I'll just put that there. But yeah, we've kind of built a skeleton already. I'll continue building the skeleton in the next episode, but here I've already built it a little bit, kind of, where we have the home page. There's no navigation links. That's probably going to be important for the next part. Over here we have the projects and everything like that. And so yeah, that's episode 2 of developing with innovation with Stellar AI. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.